Hey everyone, thanks a lot for tuning in. My name is Johnny K, and for today's video, we are going to be talking about Dua Lipa. On August 28, 2020, Dua Lipa and the Blessed Madonna came together and released Club Future Nostalgia, a remix album for the parent record that was released in March of the same year. Dua Lipa began working on this project shortly after taking in her fans' reactions to Future Nostalgia. While she initially debated on whether or not it would make sense to promote her record during a pandemic, she ultimately felt that Future Nostalgia would serve as a mental escape for her fans. Upon the album's release, she saw how much they resonated with the record's upbeat and positive atmosphere, and this led her to pursue a project that would be more intentionally focused on dance. Dua Lipa also found herself pursuing this project as a result of her inability to go on tour. Not only did she and her collaborators unexpectedly have the extra time on their hands to fully focus on the remix album, but she's mentioned a lot in her interviews how she misses going out and how with this album she's trying to virtually take us back to the clubs. Club Future Nostalgia is a collection of remixes from various producers that were then curated by the Blessed Madonna to have each track smoothly transition to the next in a way that allows the remix record to resonate as a live DJ mix. The album also includes various samples, new features, new songs, and all these features exist so well together that they help Club Future Nostalgia feel just as purposeful as the parent record. This album starts off with the Joe Goddard mix of Future Nostalgia. This remix is charismatic and energetic, and it feels like a concert opener, which makes it work well as the first song we get. The Jada G remix of Cool is fine. It's one of the remixes that doesn't really stand out, but each song carries the energy we get from a live DJ mix, so it works. Good in Bed was remixed by Zach Witness and Jen Hoshino. This remix for the most part is okay, but it does contain two samples that help it stand out, the first being Buffalo Stance by Nina Cherry, and the second being Moments in Love by Art of Noise. One of my favorite transitions is Good in Bed leading to Pretty Please. It feels like the introduction to a new phase in the album, and it's a quick moment to simmer things down. The Blessed Madonna cleverly blended together two remixes of Pretty Please, the first one being a Midland refix, and the second being a Masters at Work remix. Masters at Work is a duo composed of Little Louis Vega and Kenny Dope Gonzalez. They have an impressive resume, doing remixes for the likes of Madonna, Michael Jackson, and Donna Summer. Sampling the Percolator mix of Coffee Pot by Cashmere, this remix of Pretty Please is good. The only thing I don't like here is the siren that we keep hearing. That part is an acquired taste. But as I listen more to the song and recognize it as a collection of polarizing sounds, the siren becomes a bit more enjoyable. The Zach Witness remix of Boys Will Be Boys is unexpectedly one of my favorite tracks. Sampling Think About It by Lynn Collins, I didn't expect this remix to work. You wouldn't think the subject matter of this song could sit well atop an upbeat sound, but I actually like it a lot. The production is reminiscent of Beyonce's In the Time, and I actually wouldn't mind seeing Dua Lipa take this remix to the stage. The original version of Love Again is one of my favorite tracks off Future Nostalgia, and the Horse Meat Disco remix does it justice. The disco sound here gives us a slight contrast from the anthemic nature of Boys Will Be Boys, and this remix is just as enticing as the original. Next, we have a mashup of Jamiroquai's Cosmic Girl and Dua Lipa's Break My Heart. Dua Lipa mentioned in interviews how Jamiroquai was one of the inspirations behind Future Nostalgia, so this mashup makes sense, and it stands out well from the house-dominated tracks on the album. The Blessed Madonna remix of Levitating has extremely grown on me since its initial release as the album's lead single. I was at first thrown off by the decision to scratch the song's original instrumental, but as we understand the concept of Club Future Nostalgia, it all makes sense. The Levitating remix started off as a solo track, but Dua Lipa would eventually reach out to Missy Elliott and Madonna as she felt they would sound good on the track. One thing I like about this remix is that it reminds me of Madonna's remixes from the 80s, specifically the color mix of True Blue and the extended dance mix of Like a Virgin. I also like that Dua Lipa kind of took the passenger seat for this remix, as she's hugely present in the forefront for everything else on this album. Next up, we get two remixes of Hallucinate. The first one brings in a new level of excitement, as it samples Another Man by Barbara Mason, and more importantly, Holla Back Girl by Gwen Stefani. This is literally everyone's favorite song by Gwen Stefani, so the simple inclusion of it makes this a good remix. The second remix samples The Sun Can't Compare by Larry Heard, and it builds momentum towards the unveiling of the first new song we get on this album. Love is Religion is another one of my favorites. It's an unreleased song originally intended for future nostalgia, and for the ones who haven't checked out this remix album, they are missing out on a hidden gem. It's undeniably witty and it deserves to be pushed, either through live performance or a music video. Don't Start Now samples Sing Sing by Gaz and Bring Down the Walls by Fingers Inc. and Robert Owens. I like the decision to switch things up sonically, as it hopes to give Don't Start Now a darker and fresher tone. Physical features Gwen Stefani and was remixed by Mark Ronson. Mark Ronson and Dua Lipa have history together, as he was present for the initial studio sessions for Future Nostalgia, and he also helped produce the Grammy-winning track Electricity. Mark Ronson has a special talent when it comes to throwback music, and this remix of Physical is a prime example of that. Because of its slower tempo, it immediately stands out from the other songs, and while I love the other features on this record, I have to recognize Gwen Stefani as the best one. She and Dua Lipa sound amazing together, and even though Gwen Stefani didn't change or add anything lyrically, her vocal contributions actually elevated the quality of the remix. Kiss and Make Up was originally on Dua Lipa's self-titled album. While the original song infuses reggae and pop, this remix is predominantly funk. Blackpink is featured and they fit in nicely to the point that I can't imagine the song without them here. Lastly, Kiss and Make Up is a unique addition to Club Future Nostalgia, and it's one of the only songs here where I prefer the remix over the original. That Kind of Woman is another unreleased song. While listening to this track, it kept making me think of Confessions on a Dance Floor, which makes sense when you put the pieces together. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna butcher the name, but Jacques Lucant is actually the pseudonym for Stuart Price, who was the main producer for Confessions, and he also contributed to the original versions of Cool, Levitating, Love Again, and Hallucinate. Additionally, this remix samples Stand Back by Stevie Nicks, and overall, it's a fun track that could have fit very well on the album, most likely coming after Hallucinate. The last track on this album is the Moody Man remix of Break My Heart. While there are certain moments I enjoy with this one, it's mainly just here to close things out. It's like the song DJs play when their set is over and they're waiting for everyone to leave the club. Even with the official visualizer, this song played as the credits for each individual song was shown on a billboard, so it's pretty obvious that this remix is simply a curtain closer. Personally, I had a good time exploring this album, researching it, and watching the visualizer. Dua Lipa allowed herself to have fun and to virtually transport us to a place where people young and old can hear the songs they know and have a good time. She was able to accomplish huge career goals by partnering with Madonna, the Blessed Madonna, Missy Elliott, Gwen Stefani, and a huge variety of established producers. She crafted the remix album in a way that served a different purpose from the original. She made it so that you could equally enjoy the remix and the original without having to compare the two, and throughout this project, she has further cemented herself as a pop legend in the making. Be sure to let me know what you thought of Club Future Nostalgia. And if there's any other facts or info that I missed, be sure to let me know. As always, I'll be including my ranking of this album in the comments, so be sure to get involved and let me know what your favorites were. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more pop stories and reviews. Any other songs or albums you want me to discuss, just give me that heads up. Otherwise, thanks a lot for watching. My name is Johnny K, and I will talk music with you in the next video.